We're gabbing with Greenwood. Greenwood Gab.
Welcome back to another episode of Greenwood Gab. I'm Natalie.
And I'm Sarah.
And we have another fun episode planned for you today.
Because all of our episodes are fun, just because we're here.
We're very fun people. The library is fun.
We are fun. But today we're going to talk a little bit more with Natalie and one of her roles here at the library of being in charge of our marketing and events. So we're going to talk about what you can expect coming up in September of all the fun stuff we're doing because we're fun.
Yes. How many times can we say the word fun in this podcast episode?
On the YouTube slide, I'll have to count all the times we say fun. Fun.
Fun.
All right. Here we go. So Natalie, now that you're in charge of our events after the sad loss of our dear friend Vicky, who I hope is listening down in Knoxville.
Hi, Vicky.
I was going to say like, go Vols, but I couldn't remember Vols. And now I just did. So there we go. Go Vols.
Go Vols.
Anyway.
I'm glad you said like, I hope you're listening because when you first were like, sad loss, it's like it kind of sounded like she had died.
I'm sorry. I'm not killing you off, Vicky. We do miss you, though.
We do. And we miss that you used to plan the events because I'm learning it's a lot.
And we have a bunch of events coming up this month. So, Natalie, why don't you tell us about the first one?
Yeah, so September is very busy and we're starting it off right on the 1st. So the first event we have for September is the faculty bookplate ceremony on September 1st in the Blackwell Ballroom at 5 p.m. immediately following faculty senate. So really, if senate ends a little early, which it might since it's the first meeting, hopefully they don't have a too packed agenda. But so as soon as Senate lets out, we're going to start the bookplate ceremony. So a little bit of background. Speaking of Vicky, it was her idea to start this program where faculty who are promoted or tenured select a book to be added to the library collection, and we put a bookplate with their name honoring them in the book. And at the ceremony, we'll have the books on display, and faculty can talk about why they picked the book that they picked.
Natalie and I both were promoted this year, so we are going to be part of that group of people honored at the bookplate ceremony. Yay, we're associate professors now. It's so exciting.
Yes.
So, Natalie, would you like to share with us which book you picked and why?
Sure, because it may be not super obvious as to why I chose the book I chose, because it's a children's book. I chose The Phantom Tollbooth by Norton Juster, R.I.P. It's one of my favorite books just as an English major because of all of the puns and wordplay that show up in it. It's about a little boy named Milo who gets a toy toll booth. So, he starts to play with it just thinking that, he'll drive through and whatever, but he drives through the toll booth and actually ends up in this magical land. And there's different places he goes there. There's the town, or not town, but land of Dictionopolis. And they jump to the island of Conclusions. There's just a lot of fun wordplay in the book. And that's why I love it so much. So that's why I picked it for my celebration of my promotion. Sarah, what book did you pick?
Well, so my book is very different than yours. I've had the great opportunity to participate. The Virginia Library Association gives out an award every year for a graphic novel that displays diversity in a positive light. That sounds weird. It's called the Graphic Novel Diversity Award, and it's given to graphic novels that highlight diversity as part of their storytelling. And I've served on this committee twice now. The first time I served, I was on the adult committee. So we read books, graphic novels written for adults. And then the second time I served on the youth committee, which we read graphic novels for pretty much anyone under the age of 18. So we read YA graphic novels, middle grade children's graphic novels as well. But I picked the one that we picked to win the first year I was on it on the adult committee. And it's called Grass by, and I'm apologizing as I did in our other book review episode, Kim Suk Gendry Kim, I believe is her name. And it was translated by Janet Hong because I did not read it in the original Korean. I read it in English. But it's the true story of a Korean comfort woman. She was a girl, 14 years old, in Korea during World War II when she was kidnapped by the Japanese and forced into sexual slavery in China to service the Japanese soldiers. It's very harrowing, but beautifully told, and it's actually about a real woman that the author interviewed, and she visited her. They have now, after many years, there's a lot of shame in Korean culture about that time period, and for many years these women were kind of ignored and looked down upon, but they have made a lot of strides in kind of realizing that it's not these women's fault what happened to them and that they do deserve respect. And so they have set up these retirement communities for these women because there are quite a few of them. And the author went to one of these retirement communities and met a woman named Okseon Lee, and she interviewed her about her life and what life was like before the war, of course, during the war, and then also how difficult her life was after the war, because she was basically abandoned in China after the war. No friends, no family, looked down upon by all of society because of what she was forced into doing during the war. So very dark, but powerful, very different than the Phantom Tollbooth. But I picked it because I had already picked it to be a winner of this award that I served on, and also just because it's a really powerful story that I thought would be a great addition to Greenwood Library's collections.
Sounds great. I think it was a missed opportunity on our part. We didn't actually ask all of the faculty who were being recognized why they chose the books that they chose, but that's another reason you should actually come to the faculty bookplate ceremony, is to talk to the people being recognized and ask them why they chose their books. I keep saying, faculty bookplate ceremony. So this is a faculty event. It's open for faculty and staff, so you don't just have to be teaching faculty to come, but I don't anticipate any students trying to show up. But it is just a faculty staff event. And there will be libations.
I think that was the word that was used at the opening faculty meeting, libations.
Yes. So food and drink will be had by all, and we'll have a good time and have some good conversation about our books.
Yeah. And if any of the faculty who picked a book for the bookplate ceremony want to share with us why they picked it, we'd love to hear from you. You can email the library, you can email one of us, you can tag us on social media with your reason, and we will share that out for everyone.
We're excited to hear why you picked the book you did. And we started doing this in 2020. So any faculty who've been recognized so far, if you want to share with us, we're happy to hear your reasons.
So what's coming next?
So the next event will be the following Wednesday, September 7th, and that will be the Writing for Wellbeing Journaling Workshop. It'll be at 1 p.m. upstairs in the library in the Children's Literature Room. This event is part of the Wellbeing in the Heart of Campus Community Connections at Greenwood Library grant. That's a partnership between the library and Longwood CAPS, sponsored by the Institute of Museum and Library Services. If some of you remember, last November, we received this grant from the Institute of Museum and Library Services, IMLS, and we've done several programs for the grant, one of which was a journaling workshop that already happened in February, and it was really well attended. We provided journals and pens for participants, and there's a chance to win prizes since all of this is grant funded. We're excited to do it again. It's hosted by Dr. Jen McConnell from the English department, and we're excited to have her come give some journal prompts.
I know that we're planning, once the grant is completely over, to take some time to talk a little bit more about all of our programming. But what are some of the other things that we've done, just briefly?
So the grant is called Wellbeing in the Heart of Campus because it focused on well-being habits. So some of the other programs we've done are crocheting, journaling, gardening. So things that just focus on things you can do to promote your own well-being. We've had an author come talk about a well-being topic. We had Dr. Renee Kessler come in April and talk about how climbing mountains can be a metaphor for well-being. And we have another author talk coming up that I will talk about in this podcast episode, but I won't get ahead of myself. Just focusing on well-being. The grant does end in October, so we're almost done. And as Sarah said, we'll have a wrap-up podcast episode of more details into all of those programs.
So we've got faculty book plates, we've got journaling. What else are we doing this month?
So next on the list is actually something Sarah and I are doing together. We're going to be hosting a trivia night as part of Family Weekend on Friday, September 16th, starting at 8 p.m. in the Upchurch Wilson Chamber. Sarah will be hosting trivia. I will be there as moral support and to help with crowd control and prize drawings and things like that.
I'm Pat Sajak. Natalie is Vanna White.
Yes. Great comparison. I love it. So that will be for, people signed up for Family Weekend. Again, we did this last year for Family Weekend and it was pretty well attended. We did 3 trivia rounds.
Or is it 4? Did we do
4?
One every half hour?
Maybe. Do you remember what they were? So we can give people a little sneak peek. I mean, they'll probably be different categories.
Right. We'll definitely do different categories. Last year, we did a round with music. And that one it was songs that had the same title, but were completely different songs by different artists. So Family Affair by Sly and the Family Stone and by Mary J. Blige. Like they're completely different songs, but they both are called Family Affair. So we did that one. We did a round a little more serious on national parks, mostly because I had literally just gotten back from a trip to Utah's national parks. I hadn't even worked that Friday. I just came in for the trivia that night.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that.
And then I want to say we did a visual round because I like to do visual rounds, but I can't remember.
We did, but I don't really remember either.
I'm sure I have all the stuff of what I was doing that I should probably look up.
I mean, I could just come in with my music trivia fact. Speaking of music trivia.
Yeah, tell us your music trivia fact.
So this week on the podcast, I actually have a fun music trivia fact. I don't know if it's that fun. I love this artist, so I think it is. Britney Spears has come out with a song for the first time in 6 years, I think this says.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, after a 6-year hiatus, Britney Spears made her musical comeback today with the release of Hold Me Closer, a collaboration with Elton John.
Tiny Dancer.
Yes. So the chorus is pretty much the same as Tiny Dancer. The verses are different. It's kind of just like a techno version of Tiny Dancer.
And getting out in the club.
It's a Britney song. It's basically her with some auto-tune. It's fun.
It's fun. I think we'll just call this episode, It's Fun.
It's not really a trivial fact, but Hold Me Closer by Britney Spears and Elton John came out on August 26, 2022.
Keep that date in your head. It's as important as 1066 and 1215 and 1607.
Yes.
All of those dates.
1839.
Exactly. Look at you, Longwood. What? But yeah, so with our trivia, typically do a music round, do a visual round where there's like pictures that you have to identify things, and maybe a little more serious trivia round, but mostly pop culture focused.
So we hope our Family Weekend participants come to that.
Hey, Natalie, how are you feeling?
Honestly, I've been feeling a little blue, Sarah.
Well, did you know Greenwood Library checks out Luminet light therapy glasses that can help you with those blues?
I didn't know that. I'll have to check that out. And oh my gosh, I see that the library also has other things that might make my life easier, like DVD players, toolkits, umbrellas, and even a karaoke machine.
You know how much we love to sing.
All these things at the library definitely will help make me feel better.
Yeah, and all of our technology has a loan period of 7 days, so you can keep it for a whole week.
Wow, that's a long time.
Yeah, stop by the library's desk to find out more.
And I should also note, this is not library related, but that same weekend on September 17th is the Heart of Virginia Festival. I am actually on the Heart of Virginia Festival board, so I will be there, and I hope to see you there too. Also, Sarah will be there.
I will.
With the Southside Reads table. Come, find us, talk to us at the Heart of Virginia Festival. We're excited to have it come back after COVID.
Yeah. And we'll have bookmarks and stickers and more information about everyone's favorite reading challenge.
Yes. Should be exciting and fun.
A lot of fun.
Something that's not so fun, though, is kind of the reasoning behind our next event. So September 18th through the 24th is Banned Books Week. Here in the library, we don't love censorship. Every year, the American Library Association holds different programming and events, and lots of libraries do different things for Banned Books Week. So we are not different. We're going to do things for Banned Books Week. We'll talk about different campaigns we'll run coming up. They're not all totally planned yet, but we will do stuff. But one thing we're going to do is on September 21st, again, it's a Wednesday, in the library atrium, we'll have a banned books reading, and we'll actually have 2 separate banned books reading. The first one will be from 11 a.m. to 12 p.m., and that will be with Dr. Brent Roberts' class.
Woo-hoo!
His Citizen 110 class is focused on censorship this year, or this semester. They will do a reading in the library atrium at 11, and then at 3:30 until 5, we'll have our traditional banned books reading that we do every year. We'll have some faculty, staff, and students sign up to do readings, and there will be prize drawings.
A lot of fun. And the library's popcorn machine may make an appearance. No promises, but we'll see.
And I mentioned we'll do some different things throughout Banned Books Week, one of which will be recording a podcast episode, or maybe airing a podcast episode. Not sure when we'll record it, but there will be a podcast episode about banned books.
Yeah, we may have to check. There's a box when you upload your podcast. Does this podcast contain any explicit material? And we may have to check that box that week. Warning.
Yeah. Explicit material warning coming up. This is usually a family-friendly podcast.
We try. I only curse like a sailor on the weekends. All right. So let's see if I can remember everything. We got faculty bookplate event. We got a journaling for well-being event. We've got trivia at Family Weekend. We've got the Heart of Virginia Festival featuring all of your favorite local organizations and vendors. Fun times.
Your 2 favorite librarians.
Yes, definitely your 2 favorite librarians.
Podcasters.
And then we got Banned Books coming up, which is going to be a week-long event featuring readings on Wednesday, a podcast episode, and other fun stuff to be determined.
Yes.
Do we have anything else going on in September? Because I feel like that's a lot.
We have one more thing in September.
Oh, my goodness.
Rounding out the month, so we have an event on the very first day of the month and on the last day of the month. September 30th, it's a Friday. I know maybe you don't want to do a library program on a Friday, but please come. Friday, September 30th at 7 p.m., we will have a talk titled Finding Meaning in Suffering. That talk will be presented by authors Daryl Van Tongeren and Sarah Showalter Van Tongeren, presenting on their book, The Courage to Suffer. And that will be in Ratcliffe Hall, and that again is sponsored by the IMLS grant, Wellbeing in the Heart of Campus, Community Connections at Greenwood Library. In Ratcliffe Hall.
And Ratcliffe is the new admissions building, right?
Yes, it is. So it'll be in the main room. I believe it's 105. You walk in, there's a desk, and there's a giant room right behind the desk. There will be the author talk. There will be food. Come get some snacks on a Friday night. And for the first 50 attendees, they will receive a copy of The Courage to Suffer, and you can hang out after the presentation, and the authors will do a book signing.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah. So we're excited about that. We're excited to have them come and talk about their book and how to push through grief. Their talk will be about resilience through suffering. I know the title has the word suffering in it, so it's not exactly enticing, but it's finding meaning in suffering. So we're excited for that.
Right. Because, I mean, obviously we all have times that are not great, right? Suffering is part of the human existence. So how do we turn that into something that we can learn from and grow from and keep our well-being intact?
Yeah, exactly. Should be good.
It's a packed month.
It really is. Like I said, event planning is a lot. It should slow down a little bit, but there will still be more events throughout the semester. Like I said, our grant runs through October, so we'll have one more grant program after September, and then I'm sure we'll do other things. Every year we also have our week of de-stress activities during exams. So we're excited for that again this year, and stay tuned for more. I'm sure more things will come up.
Oh, always.
Yeah.
Because the library is fun and we do fun things.
Yes, we do. We also post about our fun things on all of our social media. Follow Greenwood Library on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok, and Twitter, GreenwoodLibLU.
I think that is our show for this week. Is there anything else you want to add?
I don't think so. This might be a shorter episode.
I mean, we've got some stuff to cut out, definitely, but I think it'll be definitely not as long as our back to school book review one.
Yes. That one we talked for quite a while. So
yeah, you have no idea.
Which is funny.
How much we talked. There was so much that was cut out.
It's funny because the very first episode we posted, we talked about how hard it is to talk about things. But now we're pros at this and we can just talk forever.
Well, they talk about the gift of gab in Ireland, and we called our podcast Greenwood Gab. So we've been gifted, maybe. We're gabbing more and more and more
and more. And we're having fun doing it.
Lots of fun.
All right. Well, thank you for listening.
Yeah. Have a great. Hip hop theme music. Boom, boom, boom.
Is that going to be the outtake?
We'll have to wait and see.